60 days of running at 40 plus years old. What's changed from my 20s and 30s, and what am I doing to stay healthy and get fitter as I get back into running in my 40s? That's what we're talking about today, so stay tuned to my top 4 things that I've learned over the past 60 days to help me develop a little bit more fitness in my 40s with a goal of a marathon next year. So if you're also training for a marathon or a 5K or any, just trying to get in shape, stick around and we'll talk about what I'm doing in my 40s to stay fit, healthier, and just be a better runner. So the first thing is warming up. That's something that has definitely changed. I used to be able to just get out of bed, run right downstairs, get on the treadmill, the bike, whatever the case may be, and get right after it. But yeah, not so much anymore. Now I'm feeling like I'm hovering over the coffee machine a little bit longer, trying to convince myself to pick up my feet and walk downstairs to my treadmill or my bike or whatever the case may be. And then once I finally get down there, either walking, jumping jacks, trying to actually get the blood flowing. My runs usually are starting off with like 10 minutes at least of super easy, like 12.5-minute mile pace. I mean, you're talking warming up to the fullest degree, and then finally getting into the run. So definitely that's something has changed, but you know what? You got to go with the flow and just whatever works, I guess. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Then the next thing would be slowing down, and that's something that, coming from doing a lot of sprint triathlons, 5Ks, things like that, that's kind of, that was kind of a hard one to swallow. So when I say slow down, I mean, I mentioned warming up at like a 12:30. Well, I mean, the pace for like my 50-minute run, 45-minute run is like 11 and a half at best. So, but, trying to make sure that I'm able to do a run day in, day out if I wanted to. My recovery time, has to be knocked down so I don't get injured, things like that. So trying to learn to live with that and really slow the pace down is important. And kind of what that's all about for me is like when you think about slowing down is, of course you're training your cardiovascular system, all that good stuff, but your legs and so like your calf muscles, your feet, all that stuff, they're not ready for running. They haven't ran in forever. So slowly building up, the muscles and things like that, I feel like have really helped, and kind of just more or less enjoying the process, not trying to overdo it, but instead just enjoying those nice, slow, easy runs. So, and then the next thing I've learned to do as I've gotten older is train by time. And I think training by time, if you think about it, if you're doing a training plan or, you're just used to going by miles, I could tell you right now, go out and run 4 miles. Well, that might take me 45 minutes and it might take you an hour, it might take you 30 minutes, etc. So, if your fitness level is not ready to go run 4 miles, then that training plan doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. If I instead tell you to go run 30 minutes, at an easy pace, and I don't care what the distance is, then you can build up the time over time. And then, eventually the idea is as you get fitter, you're going to go more distance in that same amount of time. That's, increasing. That's a true, measure of how your fitness is increasing, is can you go further in the same amount of time? That's the way I've kind of been thinking about it. And, maybe that might be something you could do as well to, help, stay connected and motivated to, running or fitness. Because it can be it can kind of be unmotivating to say go for a 4 or 5 mile run and it takes you an hour, over an hour, and you feel kind of defeated. But so anyway, train by time, I think, is a good point. So the next thing I'm doing is really focusing on my recovery. I touched a little bit about that on with my pace, slowing down, but recovery, getting over 40 and getting back into running. I can't emphasize that enough. I mean, if you are going to take 3 days to recover from a run, you can only run every 3 days. That's not really helpful for, your fitness goals, your running goals. If I'm actually going to do a marathon next year, I need to run, you got to put the time in. So training, recovery, all those things go hand in hand. So, The recovery, you know, it encompasses the nutrition, making sure you're getting enough protein and calories, carbs, all those good things. Also, if you saw my last video or a couple videos ago, whatever it was, the massage gun, I've been using that now for a little while, and I don't know what the science is behind it, but I tell you what, it feels good and it makes me feel a little bit more recovered. So my opinion is, if you're doing something for your recovery that makes you or helps you feel better and you feel like you're more recovered, then it might be working. It probably is working, you know. So go with that, whether it's in an ice bath, which I could just go outside in the snow right now, or if it's a sauna, whatever the case may be. Find something that works for you and stick with it. So those are the 4 things that kind of stuck out to me as far as you know, getting back into running over 40 past 60 days. I'm sure there were probably a few other little things, but those are the 4 biggest ones. If you have any that, or if you're a new runner, or if you're over 40 running, let me know what you're doing to help with recovery. Because like I said, I got a marathon next year and I want to hit this hard. Let's go.